Here we go, part 8. I'm hoping to finish it in this video. Quick look at what's left. There we go. Not too many there. So we'll get that back in the right place. We'll grab some and get straight on with it. That'll do. And we start with Queen Victoria, the Veil head or the old head. 1900. There's George VI. There's a 1940. And it's a double line. The line above the date is called the exergue line. And you can see there's two lines there. I'll look for the single line, which is harder to find. 1897. Have we got a dot between the O and the N? Nope. Nothing there. 1938. George VI. There's a shiny one. 1964 this time. Another Australia. Look at that. 1927 this time. Have we got a 27? Not sure we have. Nice condition. 27. 1947. Victoria. Is it going to be another 1900? Yes, it is. Oh, so many of them. What's that? It's an 1863 and it's got a half penny stuck to the back of it. Ugh. Sticky, that's in terrible condition. Let's have a look at that. 63. Can't see any die numbers at the bottom or any of the other varieties in the 1863. It's terrible condition. Where was that half penny? That was pretty bad as well. Sticky. Edward the 7th. I think that's 1904. That's pretty awful though, isn't it? What was that? 63, another Victoria. 1876 with an H mint mark. All the 1876s were made at the Heaton Works, so they'll all have the H mint mark on them. We've got a slightly better one than that, I think. Oh, 1963. Again, we do have a nice 63. 1901. That's terrible. Look at that. There's a 1910. That'll be Edward the 7th. Last one in this handful. 1899. Another Victoria. Right, the only thing to put down there is that Australian 1927. Terrible condition 1904 halfpenny. Let's straight in there. Some more. Where did you go? There it is. A few more. Right. We start with Victoria again. Another one. 1899. What's that? It's an 1870, but not a very good one. Got a better one than that. Right, 1919, and you can see there's no mint mark on that one. Right, 1936. There's a 61. 1961. There's Victoria. 1894. I think that might be an upgrade, even though it's not brilliant, but the one on the board is terrible, so I think that's an upgrade. The 1894. There's a 1920. Just check that little gap there. It's a small gap. There's a half penny. 1964. Elizabeth. 1906, and that'll be Edward the 7th. There he is. 1899. 1948. Ooh. 10 centimes. Empire of France. The K mint mark down there. Napoleon III. 1855. Now that is nice for 1855. That is in nice condition. You can read the designer's name there. Barry, don't know how you pronounce that. But that's nice. Napoleon III, I think, was Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew. I think I'm right on that one. But that is a nice find. And it's in coin orientation. That's why I keep getting it wrong. I'm so used to flipping them that way. There's Victoria. 1893. I don't think that's an upgrade though. 1910. Edward VII. That's his last year. He died in 1910. 1907, so that'll be another Edward. We've got damage on there though. Right, we've got a 1917. George V. We've got another jersey. A little bit of luster still on that. 1957, 1/12 of a shilling. Oh, that's not bad, is it? I know we've got a 1957, but this is probably better. Alright, 62. There's a 1916. Check to see if that ear is recessed into the coin. It's not. Right, 1921. A couple more in this handful. 62 and what's this one? 1948. There's a 64 halfpenny. There's a jersey, 1/12 of a shilling from 1957. There's this nice 10 centimes from 1855. Go there. And the 1894 is definitely better than that one. So that's a little bit of an upgrade. Get some more. We're getting down the box now. Not too many left. Okay, what are we going to start with here then? 1920, terrible condition, and it's a small gap. Another Australian penny. Another 1922. I know we found a 22. I don't think it was. I think it was in better condition than that actually. I'll have a look. 1912. No mint mark on that one. There's a Victoria. Very nice condition. 1883. Yeah, 1883, but those marks there are just damage. Nothing else. Terribly damaged, that one. 1914. That's not very nice either. 1892. Victoria. 1917. There's a 1930. Now I hope we find an Australian at 1930. That'll be worth a few quid. There's Victoria again. 1877. It's a wide date. If you find a narrow date, 1877, that's worth quite a bit of money. But that's a wide date, which is the common one. 1920. That's a common one as well. There's a 1902, and you can see, without me zooming in really, the tide is high there. High tide level. So that's a common one. 65. There's another 1902 and another high tide. What's that mark there? That's just damage, isn't it? Yeah. Just a bit of damage. Edward VII. Right. 1895. Now we need to look at the trident, the gap between the trident and the P. And it's a small gap. The 1mm gap, the 2mm gap is the rarer one. It's a common one. There's another halfpenny or a halfpenny, 1928. Not sure if we got 28 or not. Right, 1920. That's terrible condition, isn't it? That's a small gap. Another 1900. 1929. There's a 1915. You can check the ear, the recessed ear on the 1915, but nope, that's a common one. And a 1940. Yeah, 1949, just picked it up off the floor. This 1883, even though it's not the best condition, it's better than the one on the board, because that is pretty terrible. So let's take that off there. You can't read anything on it. So I will replace it with that one. There's a 1922 Australian penny. And the halfpenny from 1928, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, let me show you what we've got left. That is it. So let me just pull that out. Packaging in the bottom there. And that's what we've got left. So I got a few out, didn't I? Let's get a few more. There we go. Right. 1949. 1900 again. Oh, someone's thumped that. 1937. There's a 1912. Yet another one with the H mint mark. Elizabeth, 63. There's a 1939. 1916. Check that ear. Not a recessed ear. Another 1902. Another high tide. Is that a crack? No, I think it's like it's been squeezed with some cutters or something. No, that's not a crack, is it? It doesn't go all the way through. Thought I found a cracked coin. You don't find many of those. But no, someone's had a go at that with some snips. Some tin cutters or something. 1901. There's an 1892. Another 1901. 39, another halfpenny, 1945 this time. George VI, a ship there, Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind, used to be called the Pelican. 1964, 1947. There's Edward. 1908, it's damaged though, isn't it? I wonder what that was. So a close look at that. Yeah, it's just damage. See it on the other side as well. Nothing amazing there. There's Victoria, 1896. 1921. Yeah, put that in the dirty mug. There's Victoria again. Another 1883. I think it's a 3. Yeah, definitely not the best condition. And there is Elizabeth II, so that's going to be another jersey. 1964 this time. Again, quite a nice bit of lustre on there. Okay, George V, 16, not a recessed ear. There's a George, oh that's been shined, that's been polished, 1921, it's been polished probably a few years ago. Still going in there though, get in there. And the last one in this handful is another 1896. On the 1896, sometimes the 9 and the 6 are spaced differently, but it is quite common to find that. There's the 1964 jersey, and we've got that 1945 halfpenny. There you are. Right. Oh, wait a minute. I found a 77, haven't I? Oh no, what did I do with that? Oh, where did I put it?
Don't panic! Don't panic! Right, don't panic, you're all right.
Panic over, I found it. There it is, 1877. A new one for the board. Right, let's get a few more. Hard to grab now, there we are. Okay. 1908. 1897, come on, let's have a little dot between the O and the N. No, nothing there. We've got a Elizabeth, 63. Another 1920, and another small gap. Must be a dirty mug contender. Oh, look at that. Can I even see the date on it? Looks like 1924, doesn't it? But it can't be. I didn't make any. Okay, it's a 1921. That's awful. Good luck anyone trying to clean that. Oh, we've got a farthing. 1940. George the 6th. Alright, 1912. Again, it's got an H mint mark on it. You can see it there. Also see the ghosting of the king's head from the other side of the coin. Alright, there's George again. What have we got here? 1913 this time. 1944. 1917. Oh, we've got a kangaroo. 1958. Australia. Ah, lovely year that was, 1958. Let's have a look at that dot. Yep, dot after the word penny. That means it was minted at the Perth Mint in Australia. Okay, 1903. Oh, state of that. Hope it's not open 3. Let's have a look. No, it's a common closed 3. Curls over at the top and the bottom. Almost pleased it's not an open 3 in that condition. Right, 1947. 98. 1898. 1892. There's a 1907. It's a bit shiny. It might have been polished up sometime in the past. Yeah, I think it has actually. Don't like polished coins, as you know if you watch my videos. There's an 1896. Victoria. 1916. Ooh, that could be a recessed ear actually. I think it is. Yep, you can see the king's ear has been recessed into the coin. That was done to try and stop the ghosting, where you can see the king's head through the coin. Didn't really work very well. You still see it on some of them. So that means one of the teeth at the top will be broken. There it is. You can see that broken tooth right at the top there. Follow that colon up between Brit and Om, and that tooth is broken in half. All 1916s with the recessed ear will have that broken tooth up there. I don't think any have been found without it in 1916. That's I've got one on the board. Let's check that now actually. Got one on the board, haven't I? Which I did find, but it wasn't a very nice condition. No, it wasn't. Yeah, you can see the recessed ear, but that one's better. So let me replace that straight away. There it is. Normal 1916 underneath. Whoops. There we go. At least we got one, a better one than we had before. 1962. There's an 1896. What's that? I think that's an 1890. Big gash out the side of it there. Right. 1901. And the last one in this handful is an 1899. There's the 1958 Australian penny. And this farthing was 1940, wasn't it? I'll put that with them. I'll have to grab them now. The bottom of the box, that'll do. Alright. Victoria. 1889. I think we got a better one than that though. 1897 again. Come on. I don't see that dot. Not this time. There's a 1939. 1919. Strange kind of mark there, but I don't think it's a mint mark, is it? No, it's not. Nothing there. Right, 1888. Jack the Ripper penny. Not in very nice condition though. Alright, 1921. That's not a very nice condition either. Alright, that's George VI, 1948. That's not bad. Is it any better than the one on the board? 1948. Yeah, it might be a little bit. Let me just swap it straight away. There we go. Right. 1898. George V. 36. 1912 with an H mint mark. Again, got a better one. 1928. There's another 1900. There's Edward. 1904. What have we got here? 1930. 38, isn't it? Yeah. 1906. Edward, I think that's better. 1906. The 1906 on the board is pretty bad, I think. So I'll change that in a minute. There's a 1919. You can see there's no mint mark on that. 1928. 1891. Don't think that's an upgrade. 1934. 1901. 1912. Yeah, again, it's got an H there. And 62. Well, apart from the 1948, which I've already changed, the only other thing is this 1906. I think that was quite a bit better. Oh, definitely that side. What about the old verse? Oh, yes. So that's definitely an upgrade. So I'll put that down there. Look at the difference in the colours there. I have made a video on that, as I said before, why some coins are different colours. The link to that will be in the description below. Right. I think just 2 more, I think. Right, we'll do that and then 1 more handful after this. Queen Victoria, 1897. Nah, nothing there. No dot. Right, we got 1929. It's not really dirty enough for the dirty mug, is it? Nah. Another 1888 Jack the Ripper penny. 1899. There's a 1913. 1928. I thought there was some strange mark at the top, but I think it's just a bit of glue. That'll probably come away. Okay, 1898, Queen Victoria. There's another jersey, 1/12 of a shilling, 1966. A question I need to ask is, if you lived in Jersey in pre-decimal days when these were currency, what did you call this? Did you call it a penny? Or did you have to say 1/12 of a shilling every time? Let me know, please. I'd like to know that. Right. 1918 without a mint mark. Don't think it has. No, it's not. Right, we have got yet another 1900. 1965. 47. Oh, there's a 64. 1921, George V. 1935. Oh, an Irish penny. 1963. Hen and Chicks. You can see the PM for artist Percy Metcalfe. Apparently, if he made his designs in the morning, he signed it AM. It's a joke there from Coin Pig. Thank you very much, Coin Pig. 1891. No, you can't read the 1 or the penny, can you? So it's not going to be an upgrade. 1908. Another 1896. 1882 with an H mint mark. The rare ones do not have an H mint mark. And what we got here? 1917. There's the 1968 jersey. And what was it? 1963 Irish penny there. Right, let's tip this box up now. That's what's left. You gonna come out? I see it. That's the lot. Oh, this is the last handful. Come on, let's have a 1933 penny in here. 1951. 1937, there's a halfpenny. 64. 62. 1919, okay in there? No. 1861. That's no better than the one on the board. Definitely not. 65. There's a 49. Is that dirty enough? Yes. In it goes. 1916. Let's have another recessed here. Definitely not. 1901. 1907. I'll look on the board for that. Might be a bit better. I don't know. All right, 1862 is that? Yeah, it's a 2. Pretty sure that's a 2. And we have a 1918, but with no mint mark on it. And that's a bit of a strange coloured one. 1912. Don't think there's a mint mark there. There's a mark right in the corner, but it's too far over for a mint mark. So we'll put it in the dirty mug. There's a 1919. Oh, look at the ghosting on it, but no mint mark on it. 1946. Have we got a dash there? Come on, last handful. Let's have a dash penny. No, nothing there. Oh, there's a halfpenny. A halfpenny, a halfpenny. Ooh, 1891. Now that's not bad condition for 1891, halfpenny. They're usually very, very worn. So that's not bad. 1900, yeah, we had to get another 1900. 1898. Victoria, another 1896. Come on, let's have one we haven't got. No, 1890. A nasty scratch on the date there. 3 more. 1947. 1897. Let's have a dot right at the end. No, not in the right place. And the very last one is 1906. Edward the 7th. Well, that's what we ended up with. You can only find what was in the box. I'm surprised an 1875 didn't turn up, because they are quite common. But the rest, probably, as you'd expect, the rare ones didn't turn up. The 1953, that's quite surprising as well. Usually find 2 or 3 in these hunts. I've got quite a lot of 53s. Go get one. There we go. There's a 53. I'll add that. Just show you it is a 53. There we go. 1953. Elizabeth II. So yeah, put that down there. So that's it. I'm not going to add anything else. That is it. So I'm not calling that a bingo line either, because I added it afterwards. Right, so what you've got to do is comment on this video, comment on all the other videos. This is part 8, so there's 7 other ones you needed to comment at. Then I'll give it 2 weeks. I always give it 2 weeks to allow people to comment and see the videos. And then I'll pick a video at random. I'll pick a comment using the YouTube random comment picker from that video, and the person who made that comment will get everything down here. It's sad to see an empty box. No under there, is there? Nah, nothing there. If you click on that, that'll take you to the video I made about the 1877 penny. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.